I might real quick. Let's see if it's gonna let you join. Add. Yeah, it says you can't join. If you come back through Facebook or through Instagram, yeah, I know how to get you up now. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here seeing your name. It says the viewers request. I request you, and then it tells me it won't let you join. I'm telling y'all. There it goes. I'm telling y'all. There it goes. You want to turn off the Facebook.
I don't know what that was about. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Ooh, let me plug my microphone in this Facebook. Yeah, I hear you. Ooh, man, first thing first, how you been?
I've been doing all right, man. How about yourself?
Ooh, man, I've been working. I feel like every other day it seems like it's a problem, but shit, I feel like, man, our job is to fix and handle all the problems.
Right. That's what's up.
For those of you that don't know, it's a good brother of mine. He took me under his wing when I had moved out to Vegas about 2018, 2019. Man, he put me on the game. I swear he put me on to a lot of stuff along with a couple other brothers that was out there. But I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick to the people.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm Brother Shaka Malik Nafari, Las Vegas chairman of the People's New Black Panther Party, and also chairman of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and also national chief of staff for the People's New Black Panther Party.
He got a lot of titles, man. He got a lot of titles.
I be working, man. You know what I'm saying? I know how to follow orders as well.
Don't we all? Okay. So first thing first, which one did you join first? Did you join the People's New Black Panther Party, or did you join the Huey P. Newton Gun Club first?
I joined the People's New Black Panther Party first back in 2017. And at the time, you had to complete your 90-day probation period before you can actually, become a Huey P. Newton Gun Club member. At the time, the gun club leader, which is Babu Omawali, National Commander Babu Omawali, he was also the national chairman of the People's New Black Panther Party at the time.
Okay. Okay. So he kind of it was easy in a sense to transition from being a Panther and then going over and doing the Huey P. Newton Gun Club.
Right. He was also co-founder of the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. So, but they, like I said, we had to, when I was coming in, you had to wait until you completed your 90-day probation period with the party before you could become a gun club member.
Okay. So you had to be a full-blown Panther before you could turn around and join the gun club.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see. I got some questions queued up. I'm gonna pick your mind real quick. Let me see. I feel all the technical difficulties we had starting, and I didn't let the computer what's it called out. Okay, so with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, man, what's it for and what y'all doing?
The Huey P. Newton Gun Club is basically for people like us, man. People of color, black folks who are not really too much educated about guns. We want to try to educate our people about more about their Second Amendment rights, to bear arms and stuff like that. And You know, it's to become more educated about the firearms, because when you educated about firearms, you know, you're not, you know, you're not likely to fear using firearms, or you can't be misguided or misdirected on what a firearm is really used for, and you know, because they have all these sayings about, you know, AR-15s and stuff like that. So when you educate yourself about those things, you know, no one can come to you and say that an AR is an assault weapon. That's not an assault weapon. You know,
That's what it stands for. A lot of people don't even know that. They think that it stands for assault rifle.
if I'm not mistaken, it stands for Amorite Rifles, which was a company that invented the AR-15 in the 1950s.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And I like you said that about education, man, because I feel like a lot of people get a little confused with these right-wing militant groups.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that it's not militant, and it's not training people in the sense of the militant mind, but I wouldn't compare it to a militant group. Do you feel like it can be compared the same manner? Or is it in a sense, as far like you said that about the education? I feel like that's more what it is, more to in a sense just to bring awareness, and even the training in a sense. I don't know if it's training for any militant purposes, man. It's like you said, it's the education to know how to use it and protect yourself when you need to.
Right, exactly. That's what it's really about. I mean, we do the Huey P. Newton Gun Club is not just a gun club. We do, you know, we do participate in community patrols. You know, we do security a lot of times for you know, local individuals, or sometimes we go out of town, we go out of state, you know, to other states and support other groups that may have issues, you know, in their own communities, and they might need, you know, some outside support.
I got you. Okay, with the yeah, I like that. With the People's New Black Panther Party, man, what do y'all do? Because I know y'all ain't just on the internet, but I want you to go ahead and explain to some of the people, man, what y'all really doing out here in the community.
Well, first off, the People's New Black Panther Party is under the leadership of Yakanan Ben Yah. You know, he's a great teacher and a great leader. He teaches us, you know, to stay involved with our community, engage our community, and make sure that we try to meet the needs as much as possible for our community. You know, educating them. The things that we do mostly in our community, you know, like for example, we come together with other Black organizations like the Black Panther Liberation Party, which is the Liberation Black Panther Party, the Black Riders, up under General Taco. And we collaborate with the local leader of that group, which is Captain Aki Buck. And for the last 4 years, we've been coming together with them, and we've been doing community giveaway, you know, back to school giveaways, you know, for the children, to make sure they have backpacks, school supplies, and stuff like that every year. We've given away bikes for the kids at times when you know, a lot of stuff that we give out, sometimes it's donations, sometimes it's out of pocket, you know what I'm saying? So it's always according to what we have the finances to do for the children, but the majority of the time we try to make sure every year we have back to school giveaways, you know, where we barbecue, you know, and you've been at one of them before, you know, participated in it, you know what it's like, you know, to give out to the community and stuff like that, backpacks and school supplies. Sometimes we barbecue for them and stuff like that. We also, we've done a whole lot of things. You know, we've actually taught for almost 2 years. We taught martial arts self-defense at a community center. You know, we teach gun safety classes, basic gun safety classes. You know, we also do security for local businesses, you know, that may be having events and stuff like that. We also do work for churches. You know, churches have came to us, you know, when they would have had issues in their community with gangbangers and drug dealers and stuff like that, you know, selling drugs in their parking lots. And we've, you know, dealt with issues like that for them, did security for them. And it was a particular incident as well where we escorted a abused individual from a home that was, you know, she was basically being held captive by a guy that was trying to basically victimize her. and we was requested to show up by the pastor and escort this woman out, make sure that she was able to leave safely because the individual did not want to let her leave peacefully. So, we do things like that, but we mostly are known for in our community, for our community, our armed community patrols. We're known mostly for that. We do also what we call a setup, a post up or whatever, where we post up on the corner with memorabilia, Panther memorabilia, our literature, our brochures and stuff like that, telling who we are, and we communicate with the community, and also give out like what we call Panther care packages to the homeless.
Okay. I like that you said that about the literature, because that kind of leads into my next question. As far as the physical training goes, in a sense, even like you was talking about with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, in a sense, how you go out and try to educate people how to use guns and how to exercise their rights in the best manner, dealing with the system that we got to deal with. Is there any mental how do I say it? Is there any mental training that you guys have to do? Like some of these books that I got behind me, hey man, these are some of the books. Actually, the Black Panther, that's one of the original books.
Right.
And in a sense, that's some of the stuff I feel like got my mind right. And when I say that, I mean more, I guess, open my mind up to maybe the history of organizations like that. Like one of them I got right here is the Garvey and Garveyism. Yeah, I read that a while ago. And in a sense, it opened my mind up to the history and basically gave me a new perspective. Is there any type of mental training that people have to go through that y'all put your people through?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. One of the things that we go through is basically learning what it is to be a Panther, by studying our manuals. We have a manual that we study, that teaches us the history of the Panther. It also goes by what we call the sole purpose of a Panther. We also go by the original teachings of Bobby Seale and Dr. Huey P. Newton when it comes to the 10-point platform and the 9 local objectives. Those things are things that we study the most. We believe in studying political awareness, making sure that we are aware of our local politics, as well as the state constitution. A lot of people, they focus on the United States Constitution, but they're not really familiar with their local state constitution. So we believe in studying that literature as well, in order to be able to know the laws and what the power is that we have within our community. A lot of times you hear individuals, they'll say all power to the people, but they don't, tell the people what power they have. What power is that they have? And so a lot of the ways you learn what power it is that you have is by studying your state constitution. And then we also believe in studying the international laws, which will teach you your human rights, your Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and teaching about learning about self-determination, those kind of things.
I ain't gonna lie, man. One of the big dogs, one of the big generals that stepped in here. I appreciate you coming in and watching. But yeah, nah, man, I agree with that. I agree with that most definitely. Because I feel like a lot of people, man, they feel like the system is so big and they don't necessarily know where they could fit into it. So kind of like you said, man, I feel like we have to educate our people in a sense of, man, like you said, on the Constitution and the rights and just the things in the sense that we can exercise. Like, man, it's not the fact that we just always down at the bottom and we can't do nothing. Man, there are rights and things that we can do. Like you said, with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, in a sense, educating ourselves and training ourselves with guns, and like educating ourselves with the Second Amendment, as well as educating ourselves and where we can exercise the rights that we have to actually be able to do something prolific for our people.
Right.
One of my last questions on that. So man, what's the goal at the end of it all? If you could sit back and in a sense, kind of like how Martin Luther King could look back on his life and be like he had a goal. What would you say the goal would be at the end of it all, man?
Well, the overall goal is, to basically fulfill and achieve the 10-point platform of our 10-point platform is, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, and peace. And with that being said, our political objective is to have national liberation and to separate ourselves a territory for our own. Yeah. You know, we believe that we also are indigenous to this land, as well as descendants, Afro descendants. You know, we have Africans that came here, some that were already here, you know, and we believe that we're entitled to all that. We want, you know, land to be freed up for us specifically on the continent of Africa, but also we want, you know, what's due to us here, you know, and so we intend to do what we need to do for us, the international legal way to do it, you know, and which is declare self-determination and demand decolonization of our territories where we are mostly populated. You know, we would like the land to be free, the land that we're actually, you know, highly populated in, you know, because there in these lands, in these communities, there is basically, you know, billions of dollars that are owed to us within these communities, you know, that can be liquidated through the housing that's around us and stuff like that, where we'll be able to, if we want, get reparations through that. If they, you know, the city holds a lot of finances and get paid a lot of finances for each community. You see what I'm saying? So the communities that we're in, even though they're run down, a lot of them, they're worth, you know, billions. You see what I'm saying? So if we can free those lands up and, you know, begin to repair, begin to create, you know, trade schools for our people, you know, get people, you know, on a level to where we can be self-sufficient. So that's the ultimate goal, you know, like it says in the sole purpose of a Panther, we're here to mobilize the people towards self-determination. And that's the key.
I like that you say that because it actually does lead to the next question. So what's something an individual can do to combat what's going on politically and culturally? I mean, because a lot of we could talk on the propaganda and stuff like that that's going on, but it's also a system of white supremacy that's going on in this country. So what's something that an individual could do, maybe even with the education that they're given? Well, what would you say in a sense something that somebody should go to, or somebody after they educate themselves, what they should go do to actually be able to combat it?
As I spoke on before, you know, each individual should be learning about their local politics. The local politics is more, in my opinion, is more important because it affects you directly. That's, you know, right. Who's running, who's alderman or councilman in your community, you know, in your ward, who's basically your DA, you know, district attorneys, who's your judges, those local individuals, those local political officials, they affect you directly. You see what I'm saying? And when I spoke on earlier about, you know, knowing what power it is that you possess, instead of us just saying all power to the people, you know, educating yourselves on what power it is that you possess. And that power is written a lot of times in your state constitution. In some states, it is allowed for us to do what is called referendums and initiatives. You know, referendums is basically you know, amending a bill or a constitution or something like that that's already been written, and it's amending it, bringing changes to it, adding to it, or something like that. Initiatives is like, if I'm not mistaken, initiatives is to, you know, create a bill or some type of law or statute that you would like to add, you know, to the community that will benefit everybody, of course, you know. But like overall, the thing that I would say that individuals should do is get involved in their community. You know, find a black organization. It doesn't have to be the Panther Party, you know, the People's New Black Panther Party or any other Panther formation. It can be something similar. You know, I would recommend that everybody join some type of gun club. It doesn't have to necessarily be the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. But as long as it's a gun club that's going to educate you on, your Second Amendment rights, because those rights is very important. Every year during election time, we have Democrats, and that's another thing I want to speak on. I don't think that people of color, black folks especially, should just be focusing on Democrats. You know what I'm saying? On voting for the Democratic Party. I don't think that we should just be thinking that they're in our corner just because they're Democrats. You have Republicans and you have Democrats that do the same thing. They infiltrate each other's groups and they have the goals to do the same thing. So, I would recommend that everyone educate themselves on each party. Historically, black folks helped create the Republican Party. So historically, the KKK were brought into existence by the Democratic Party. And a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to sway people on who to vote for. You vote for I don't really agree with voting, but if you're going to vote, you know what I'm saying? You vote for, who's going to get the job done, who has the history of being able to get the job done. And so
and to that point, I feel like it's not even get the job done. I feel like it's to get the job done for you personally. Because I'm not,
right.
I don't, ain't no other group, unless you talking to me specifically, man. I'm not trying to hear what none of these people really got something to say.
Right.
And
right.
I feel like that's where a lot of these right wing, I can't think of the term, man, where they gonna get these people some money. Any of the white political parties, yeah, man. I feel like that's where a lot of these right wing people, man, they go put money behind these parties, so that these individuals specifically speak to their issues and specifically put policies in order, in a sense, to deal with whatever problem that they got. And I feel like, as in the black community, man, where we vote more, I guess, to what sounds good or what sounds whatever. And I don't feel like if it don't speak to you and where you're trying to go with your life and where we're trying to go as a community, in a sense, like you said, man, I don't too much entertain voting like that either. But I do vote more. Like this election time coming up in November, I tell everybody to get out there and vote for somebody if you can. Man, go sit down at a city council member or a meeting and speak to them and let these people know what you're trying to do for your community, and if ain't none of them look like or sound like they trying to do something to help you, man, we got to go ahead and knock that out the park, because I'm not listening to nothing that nobody's talking about.
Right. Now, I will say that I do encourage people to vote, because that is something that you don't want to let a person make a decision for you. You don't want to let people make decisions for you, but make an educated vote if you're going to vote. I do believe that we should get to a point where we govern ourselves, and we can do that legally by stating our pleading our case and declaring national liberation, declaring self-determination before the UN. We can legally become our own nation, our own people. And I think that's what we need to be pushing for. Now, what I was going to speak on before I got sidetracked, I was getting ready to say that every time during election, every year against, that elections is coming, we start seeing an increase in, police shootings. We start seeing a increase in school shootings. And a lot of this is geared towards trying to disarm the American people, and we have to be very, very wise on the decisions that we make, because whoever we put in there, if you notice, the first thing they start doing is going after those weapons, because overall what they would like to see us be is unarmed. Once you're unarmed, then they can enforce whatever they want on you, and there's no way that you will be able to defend yourselves. Just recently, in I believe it's in New York, somewhere in New York, I believe, they just made a ban against having body armor. They don't want you to have no type of way of being able to defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? And this, to me, I feel like anybody that doesn't want to see you able and capable of defending yourself on a level that they are able to defend themselves. Because let's remember, these same people that are telling you and speaking against these AR-15s, against these weapons, they have a group of people behind them with weapons. You know what I'm saying? That they can give orders at any time, any moment, and say, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. Matter of fact, we want you to take this vaccine, we want you to do this, and come to your house and force you to do that. You see what I'm saying? With these weapons, these are the same people that tell you that they don't want you to have the weapons. So you have to be wise. And a lot of black folks, out of fear of what white supremacists do, they'll vote for those guns to be taken away. And then now you can't defend yourself. And let's be real, you can vote for the guns to be banned and taken away, but the criminals are going to still have them. The white supremacists are still going to have them. They're making what is called ghost guns. They make their own guns a lot of times, and they collect their own steel, their own shells. They pick up their shells and recase them, re-put them out, you know, remanufacture them into their own bullets again. You know, they keep this going. And so, you know, I think it would be foolish for us to disarm ourselves. So we try to basically educate people on rifles and all these different things, because the media would try to, you know, misguide you and get you, you know, against it and vote them away. You know, the majority of these people, just like, for example, with the guy that shot up the grocery store, I think it was in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, the guy seemed to be pretty trained, if you ask me. And I'm not sure.
Wearing their full body armor and everything.
Yeah, full body armor. And if I'm not mistaken, the guy went and supposedly bought all these weapons and went and did this. Now, why would he go buy brand new weapons if he was clearly already trained? You see what I'm saying?
What I heard about that, his parents bought him the weapon.
You see, and that there, you know,
it was something like that. But truly, man, the best example of how important it is to do to not only educate and train yourself, educate yourself on the Second Amendment, and then train yourself with the firearms, is what's going on in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know as a Panther, man, you have to educate yourself politically, not just in your community, not just nationally in a sense, but globally. And I feel like that's the best example, because Ukraine is basically already taken over.
Right.
And the reason why is because those people didn't have no firearms to fight back. And I just think about it, at any moment in time in our government or any without educating yourself on the legal right to use them, and without training yourself on how to use them, I mean, at any moment in time, that could really be us. That could be any community. That could be, man, anybody that don't know how to stand up and defend themselves and aren't trained to do so.
Right. Yeah, we owe countries money. We don't know if they might invade us and take over the regular citizens, because these guys behind the scenes making deals and owing people money, so they come in and invade and try to enslave everybody. So, you know, the people of themselves need to have, you know, firearms as well. And one of the reasons why the Second Amendment was put in place is because of tyranny. You know what I'm saying? If someone's a tyrant trying to, you know, basically overpower the people, because the power is in the majority. If the people don't want something, it shouldn't come to pass. You see what I'm saying? If we want it, it should come to pass. And the majority of the time, we're up under more like a imperialistic system than a democracy. You know what I'm saying? We have people trying to rule over us, you know, and enforce things on us, and they'll try to say it's the majority, but we don't know what those votes is coming out. We don't know, you know, we don't know if the people are really voting on these things the way they are. You know, they can just tell us whatever, you know, and enforce it.
Right. Yeah, you must.
Say what?
I said you must stay in the projects too, man. They stay pulling up.
Yeah, man. You know, it's always police lights and sirens in our communities.
Nah, real.
Unfortunately.
Now, honestly, and that kind of summed up my second question, is that as far as what we can do as a community, because like you said, man, getting out there and voting, man, educating yourself on the local politics, and handling business in that manner. Because I believe, man, it's what do they call it? Like a small pebble in a pond create waves or something like that. So, man, just doing something locally small like that, man, that mayor could then end up to go be in the Senate or whatever it is, and then from the Senate to the presidency, to where you really got somebody that you just sat down and had a conversation with, whether it be at the citizens to be heard or whatever, man, that you don't put something in their ear that makes them continue on down the road in a sense. And it basically, what they say, basically, is it kick the rock down the road or something like that? But to where when they get to that position, they'll be thinking back when they that citizen to be heard or whatever it is, and they'll be like, damn, man, like these are the people I really speak for.
Right.
Now we going 180, and this new topic is low key dealing with the relationships, man. Because I was talking about the propaganda, and I feel like Instagram really ruined a lot of things in relationships. Your generation didn't really have to deal with it. Mine does. No, we got to deal with these Instagram relationships, these rappers and stuff like that, like the Will Smith relationship and his wife. From watching Master P and his wife just got divorced, I think it was not too long ago. And even though they signed a prenup, because it was over a certain amount of years, she still took half of everything. And the first question I want to start off with that, man, understanding the different type of psychological archetypes. Would you say that the man that men should still lead the relationship and men should still lead the household?
I think that's definitely the order of things. You know, I do agree with that. I do think that the man should lead the household. You know, that's the proper order of things.
And I guess I asked that as far as understanding the archetypes, because there's a lot of masculine women these days. And understanding, I do believe that the mistreatment of Black women, like they say, man, they're the most disrespected race on this earth, and they're the most disrespected group on this earth. And I feel like the city girls and women like Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, man, they low key kind of put that chip on their shoulder and kind of fought back in a sense. So nowadays, man, we got a lot of masculine women. How do I want to ask you, man? Do you believe that those women could be led by a man? Or, and then that's why I said, in a sense, like understanding the different type of archetypes, in a sense, I feel like there's some women out here that really, I don't know, it's not even that they could be led by no man, but they don't want to be led by no man. Do you feel as if, I mean, they could still get to a point to where they the women want to be led or could be led, or how you think that is, man?
I honestly don't. I think that I don't know. I want to start by saying I don't want to say that anything that I'm saying. I don't want to say that it's all women, but I will say that the majority of the women that I'm seeing now in this day and time, they're not women that are submissive. And when I say submissive, I'm not saying a woman that is willing to be ruled over or nothing like that. Submission is not a negative thing. It's been taught to be a negative thing, and it's not. A man has to submit as well. You see what I'm saying? And when he's in a relationship, because you're sharing your life with somebody, you're linking with somebody, and you're working to become like one. Even though you have, you know, individual beliefs and individual upbringings, you're working to become one. And a lot of times the society that we live in, it's causing women to be more like you say, masculine. You know, when they speak on toxic masculinity, the only form of toxic masculinity is the masculinity that women show. Because a man, when he's when he's masculine, when he's operating his masculinity, it's a natural thing. It's nothing toxic about nothing that's natural. If you look at anything that's toxic, it's always something that's unnatural. You see what I'm saying? There's no way a man can display toxic masculinity. You know, he could be over prideful, he could be egotistical, you know what I'm saying? But his masculinity is no way it could be toxic. You see what I'm saying? Only way you can witness, in my opinion, someone that's toxic as far as masculinity is a woman that's displaying masculinity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the women nowadays are not wanting to be led because, you know, they're looking to be the breadwinners. You know, they're looking to be alphas. And when you look at the terminology of alpha or beta, these are terms that are originally used when you were referring to like wolves, wolf packs. You see what I'm saying? And in order for, you know, a alpha to be a wolf to become an alpha or one to be a beta, they would fight. You see what I'm saying? And so and the one that wins becomes the alpha. So when a woman is walking around saying she's an alpha female, and you can't really have two alphas. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's male or female, you can't have two alphas. Somebody has to be the beta. You see what I'm saying? And if that man is, if you're thinking that you're going to make a man into a beta, a woman, you would have to really overpower him. You would have to dominate him. And most men is not going to allow that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you're calling somebody, when a woman calls a man a beta, it's like challenging a man. You see what I'm saying? If I called you a beta, what would you want to do?
No, I feel you. It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
He said, man, I feel like that's how I was raised. He said, man, you got to be an alpha male, man. And what an alpha male is, man, you're going to lead from the beginning to the end. And really, I guess I asked that question on the masculinity. Because, yeah, man, I do feel like a lot of women have this alpha woman complex and alpha female in this and the boss babe. I feel like that's all the same thing. And and like you said, in a sense, because it's a challenge, I don't feel like like you said, man, most men wouldn't allow it. I feel like any real man wouldn't allow it. I feel like I don't know, like, man, I had a conversation with my friend not too long ago because he said something talking about like his woman challenges him and pushes him and this and this. And I don't know if I necessarily agree or respect that in a relationship. My girlfriend isn't with me because I have beaten her mentally or physically or any other way, in a sense. She's with me because she wants to be with me, and she believes that I'm the real man in the sense that she wants. It wasn't because we had this fight of dominance in some manner, in a sense, and I just came out on top type in a sense.
I want to say that I think that, you know, to expound a little bit more on do they want to be led? I think that like I said earlier, they don't want to be led. A lot of times they will say that they want a man that, you know, that's going to be take control and all these different things, but that's not really true, because when they do that, then they'll say that this man's trying to control me and all these different things. Yeah. What I would recommend in my old age, man, at my age, if I can go back, even though I love my wife and my kids, I think that what I would do is I would take my time. I would focus more on becoming more of a successful individual, a more established individual, before I would focus on, you know, giving a woman my name and my seed. I think that that's the issue that black men are having. We're not valuing ourselves to the extent that we are valuing our last name. We're not building anything to the point where our last name has respect behind it. You know what I'm saying? And then we're not having much for them, for our seed, you know, to provide for our seeds. You see what I'm saying? So I think if we focus more on that instead of, you know, focusing on settling down or making babies, man, I think that, you know, we will be on a higher level to where those women that are seeking materials or whatever it is they seeking if they're seeking stability, we will be more stable if we focused on ourselves, you know. But you know, it's a vicious cycle, unfortunately, because a lot of young males are being raised by women and they're not being taught to be responsible. And I've seen in many cases where women have taken up for their sons when they were mistreating women, allowed them to mistreat those women, encouraged it. I've even seen cases where women have encouraged men that they were with not to take care of their children by another woman. You see what I'm saying? And then they'll turn around and say these different things and blame these men. But I think that it's both parties. I think that it's been a problem for some years that the blame has been placed solely on the black man, but a lot of women are not taking accountability for what they're responsible for as well. Because we got to remember, though the black man is not in the home, the women are raising the children, and the women have always been the first teachers of the children. So if the minds of the women are not where they need to be, then the children are not going to be where they need to be. You see what I'm saying? Whether the man is in the home or not. I've even sat before elder women, and they have admitted that they wouldn't allow the men to discipline the children. You see what I'm saying? So the man has been emasculated within the home.
I agree. I'm gonna tell you this though. I don't. I don't know, man. I feel like I blame niggas for everything. Um, I'm for real. I feel like I do talk. I'm not gonna say talk down on women. I'm gonna say that I do hold women accountable in a sense, and I do talk about the issues in a sense I feel like women have personally, or I guess collectively as a group. But nah, man. Somebody told me, man, she's either gonna run to it or she's gonna run from it.
Right.
And so, in that instance, I don't, man. I feel like for all the faults in any relationship I ever had, even if it was a fault in a sense, and the woman that I was dealing with, not only I wouldn't say that I didn't know that it was a fault to begin with, but I would also say in a sense, I mean, there were times in a sense I kind of allowed it. And with that being said, at that point, if the relationship ends or whatever, I didn't have to take responsibility, man. Like I knew what it was, what it was gonna be, but when we started, in a sense, um, and that might just be me personally, because then again, man, like, man, I mean, some men might just get ran to. Some men just might not know any better, in a sense. But I feel like, as far as being a man, I feel like once you stand up, regardless of what it was, even as far as the children go, man, you knew who you was giving your seed to begin with.
Right.
Um, and you knew who you was trying to procreate with and things of that nature in a sense. So yeah, man, I blame nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's why I say we do, as men, we do need to be more responsible with who we give our last names to and who we bear seed with, man. We need to be more. We need to stop being led by our genitals, and you know what I'm saying, and start, you know, standing for more something more with more substance. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, we need to, if we did those things, then we would have the ball would be in our park where we could tell these women, look, this is what I'm looking for in a wife. You see what I'm saying? Because if we have
negotiation.
But we have two things that they want more. You see what I'm saying? Most women, they want our last names and they want our seed. You see what I'm saying? And so if we make our names respectable, our last names respectable, you see what I'm saying? And we have substance behind us to where we tell these women, look, we're not gonna have a baby unless we're gonna get married. And if we're not getting married and unless I can see this and this and that change in you, because women have standards that they want us to walk by and live by. Men, we don't hold women to standards a lot of times. We will, it's certain things that we look at, you know, and we will judge women on certain things, and they feel like we judging them on certain things or whatever, and then we're not being fair, which I tell women all the time. When a man is sleeping around with a whole lot of women, it's other men that look at that man like he's a nasty dude. You know what I'm saying? We don't just say that all women are just nasty that's doing that. We say that dude nasty too. You know what I'm saying? Like we not, you know, they assume that
I say this.
pat him on the back.
Men, look, it depends on the type of women he's dealing with. Because I feel like if it's a certain class of women, I don't know, man. I know if a nigga was going from if Jay-Z went from Beyonce to Rihanna to Kelly Rowland to Alicia Keys, I don't know if no man would look at him and be like, you doing something out of line. So I feel like,
well, you know, I'm saying, like, look, this to me, this is when I was coming up, this is what it meant to be a man, you know what I'm saying, was you would marry and you would have children, you would build an empire, you would build a family. To me, that's the ultimate accomplishment of a man. You see what I'm saying? You know, and not saying that a person, an individual that doesn't have children or wife is not a man, but I'm saying me coming up, that was my ultimate idea of manhood. You see what I'm saying? Being able to hold down a wife and kids.
And their family.
And establish something for them. You know, to create generations, you know, to spread your seed, not with many women, but with that one woman, and these children become successful, and your seed is in the earth. You see what I'm saying? This is what, you know, you keep your generations going. And this is what I view as, because when you say black power, you know, the foundation of black power is the black man, the woman, the black woman, and the child. without that holy trinity, you don't have black power. What's the purpose of it? You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that. Man, my last question on this relationship business. How you feel about interracial dating?
That's a tough one right there, man. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is my personal beliefs. It's not the beliefs or the teachings of the party. You know, 70% of the members of the 60s party was black women. You know what I'm saying? The black women held the party together. And so, you know, I would say that feminism is what came in and kind of split a lot of that up. But when it comes to interracial dating, my personal belief is that, you know, if you're going to interracially date, I think that you should practice polygamy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the reason why I feel like you should practice polygamy is because I feel like you should be raising seed amongst yourself with a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like, you know, you can't just dedicate yourself to only a black woman, then practice polygamy. If you want to date other races of people, I can't tell, you know, somebody who to love or who to have sex with or whatever. I don't have to agree with it, but I would say that I recommend polygamy in order for that individual to raise black seed. And the reason why is because it was a situation I seen where you know you had a lot of people doing those ancestry DNA tests, and it was a black woman who she couldn't wait to take this test. She finally took the test and got her results, and she found out that her family had just became black. That she didn't have a generation of black folks to really pull from. They had I think it was like a couple generations had went back where they were black, and then all, you know, the rest of them were all white. You see what I'm saying? Because they had just started marrying and dealing with black people, and they just started becoming a black family. But originally they started out white. So if that can happen with a black woman, and she goes back to trace her heritage and finds out that it's not all black folks, that the majority of them were all whites, and she just recently started having relatives that were black because of interracial dating. It's the same thing with a person starting out having a black generations, and then it just comes to them marrying outside of their race, and then that say those children marry someone that's of outside of the race of that particular race, like let's say Caucasian. They marry someone who's Caucasian. The children come out mixed, and then they marry someone else that's Caucasian, and this keeps going on and on and on. You'll be able to look back and not see. You won't even see black individuals no more. You'll see all Caucasians eventually. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can breed yourself out of a race, and a lot of people don't think that. You know what I'm saying? They're not being taught that. It's a name for it. I forgot what the technical term for it is, but it's a name for that, because it's possible where you can breed yourself into another race by interracially dating.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Huh?
I said I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the term either, but when they start talking about that 1/16, even after slavery, back if basically when a white woman couldn't marry a black man, he had to be, or even if it was a white man trying to marry a black woman, they had to be so far down the line to where they weren't even really considered that race anymore.
Right.
So it had to be a lot of mixed and interracial dating in a sense going on to be able to breed that out. So now I agree with it.
Right.
As far as the interracial dating to me goes, I think about it like, I believe in soulmates, and soul ties and things of the nature. But I also believe, man, it's black people that don't and can't really identify. I say within a sense being black.
Right.
And it's the same way. Like when I met mixed people in a sense to try to talk to me, and they relate more to their white side. And even though I was raised by my white mom, I was raised more around black. Like I've had black people try to tell me I can't say the word nigga type shit. And I could never understand that only because, I mean, that's what I was raised around. Even if it was the black, even if I was around my white family a lot of time, I never seen I always felt like we was in a sense the black sheep of the family. Um, but when I go around the black family, I go back to the projects in the sense I was accepted the way I was in the sense. Shit, they see even if I was a little mixed nigga, a little bright nigga, whatever they used to call me type shit, they still see me as one of them. And I ain't never felt I've never felt that in a sense with around the white family all the time.
Right.
But even with the interracial dating, I feel like there's black people I think could relate more to. I say, yeah, I feel like, man, there's black people that can relate more to white people, and I feel like they can relate to black people. Because then again, man, I even got black cousins, man, that were shunned for their interest or for whatever it was, man. You skateboard, I mean, oh man, we used to have to go to the other side of town to skateboard, or we used to have to. I used to give my skateboard to one of my little white homeboys, because shit, if we was in the hood type shit, like I can't go back home with the skateboard. Motherfuckers gonna go look at me crazy, go laugh at me in a sense. So I give my skateboard to him. So when we went skating in a sense, like, and it's things like that in a sense. I feel like the black community kind of pushes you away. And at that point, it's young black kids growing up that feel like, well, damn, everything I do, y'all talk bad about me for in a sense. So I feel like that's in a sense what kind of pushes them more towards other races.
Well, I agree with that. When I was coming up, I did some of the same things. Me being the skin color I am, I was on skateboards and rollerblades and stuff like that, and I grew up on the West Coast. Even though I'm from the Midwest, I grew up on the West Coast where it was more diversity. You see what I'm saying? And even though I hung out with this particular group and this particular group, I hung out with gang members and all that type of stuff. So I pretty much was able to hang out with anybody. And I was on the skateboards and rollerblades over here, but I was with the gangbangers smoking blunts and doing this over here. So I kind of, I mingled, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of one of the reasons why I did bring my kids to the West Coast, is because I did want them to, experience diversity. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that it teaches you how to deal with different types of people. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to almost anybody. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, the interracial thing, like I say, man, growing up, not really knowing that my history and stuff like that, I did do a lot of interracial dating at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? With Mexican women, Asian women, but I always knew that, I was going to probably end up marrying a black woman, you know what I'm saying? Because my mama, even though my mom's biracial, I've always viewed her as being black. You know what I'm saying? My dad is black, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother was mixed. She looked almost white, but she was mixed, like I said, my mom is biracial. My grandfather, which was supposed to be a white man, I've never met him. She never really had no dealings with him as well, So, I've always viewed her as black. I've been around you or whatever, and I never looked at you no other way. You know what I'm saying? So, for some people, I think it's just the way they mind is set. With me, I've never treated anybody different because they was mixed or whatever. My daughter, you seen my youngest daughter or whatever, my people think she's mixed, but you seen me and her mom is almost the same skin tone. So it's like, it's just what it is. I think that black folks come in different shades, and I think that it's mainly a lot of times where you brought up at. You know what I'm saying? People gravitate more to who they're around the most. And so if you're only around white folks as a black individual, you're probably going to be more able to relate with those white folks. You see what I'm saying? Than you are with black folks. That's why a lot of people, they make the statement, oh, you can't control who you love. I don't really fully agree with that, because if you put yourself in a different environment, you will get the opportunity to meet someone that could be similar to the people that you're used to being around. You see what I'm saying? Right. And I can say that by experience, because I done been around different friends, different people. I've had friends that were Asian, Filipino, I've had a few white friends, and I tell people all the time, I didn't join the Black Panther Party the People's New Black Panther Party because I hated white folks. You know, I joined it because of the mistreatment of my people. I don't. A white man could come bring me $1 million. That ain't gonna change what I feel about my people. You know what I'm saying? If you are mistreating my people, the way I was taught was that if you mistreat one of us, you mistreating all of us.
See how I feel the same. It really that's why. Maybe that's why I speak the way I do, and I handle myself the way because I don't know. Maybe I always had the chip on my shoulder. I knew around white people I was always just a little mixed nigga, and I feel like white folks hate us even more because they think about a black man was with your white mama, and they don't like my mama like us for the same reason. But
you know, I don't know if you remember, but I actually got into a issue with somebody on Facebook because I posted a picture of me and you. And in that picture, you brought me some water while I was out on patrol, you know what I'm saying, with the rest of our group.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the lady is crazy because she's like, when does Panther start hanging out with white folks and y'all letting white folks in the party? And I'm like, this lady was literally the same skin tone as you.
Yeah.
She went crazy, you know what I'm saying? She went crazy, you know, and she ended up blocking me and deleting me off of Facebook and blocking me and everything. And I'm like, this is a brother the whole time. He's mixed just like you are. You know what I'm saying?
Culturally, because I feel like, man, people look at J. Cole and Drake as two different light skinned niggas, and even though
right,
it's the same shit. I told somebody that one day type shit like I don't know, because I be getting on live talking shit to people, and somebody said something to me about talking about I can't say nigga or something like that. I said, man, you'll listen to J. Cole say it all day.
Right.
And if me and J. Cole and Drake all grew up in the same house with the black dad and the white mom, so you gonna sit here and accept him for this? So do you think that it's more culturally that people have said if they feel like that person has been more culturally or they grew up around black culture more? Do you feel like in a sense that's what it is? They trying to take it like that?
I think it is. I think a lot of times it's just ignorance. You know, flat out just ignorance, in my opinion. I mean, you know, when you look at the '60s Panthers, the '60s Panthers had a lot of mixed Panthers. You know what I'm saying? They went harder for the part.
But Huey P. Newton, he was a light skinned little nigga.
Yeah, he was light skinned. You know what I'm saying? You had Huey P. Newton that was light skinned, very light skinned, like he was mixed. You had
Assata Shakur was light skinned.
Assata Shakur.
And I don't know
was light skinned.
I just speak on the skin tone type shit, so I don't know how it went into it. But shit,
Elaine Brown. I think Elaine Brown was Elaine Brown. Yeah, it's a lot. It was a few of them, man. You know, that you know they had, and some of them was messing with white women. You know, it's not really tolerated in this day and time because, like I said, we push Black Power. And the foundation of Black Power is the black man and the black woman, you know what I'm saying, and the black child. So I can't promote, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. But I would say that if you do date outside your race, practice polygamy. You know, raise up some black children, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, but like I say, everybody ain't with the cause. Everybody don't, you know, ain't gonna believe the same. I ain't gonna force nobody to believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to live what I believe is to be the right thing before them. You know what I'm saying? And be an example. But, you know, my woman, my wife is black. You know what I'm saying? My children is black. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, you know, I'm practicing what I preach. You know what I'm saying? But if I was to date outside of my race, I probably would have a lot of different women because I would be practicing polygamy. I wouldn't just, you know what I'm saying, just say that I'm only going to be with one race. If I'm not going to settle down with only my race, then I'm gonna just be out there like that. You see what I'm saying? You know, I really feel like I said, I really feel like, you know, it's their choice, it's people's choice, you know what I'm saying, what they want to do ultimately, you know what I'm saying, but I know what I'm doing. I love black women, you know what I'm saying? I love black women. You know? But I feel like it's beautiful women in all race groups. I just prefer mine to be able to relate to me and look like me. When I look at her, I want to see me in her. You know what I'm saying? You know, and That's how I look at it, you know.
I need to see one of my Project Bay, my ratchet cousins. If you don't remind me of one of my ratchet cousins, if y'all might see this too, man, y'all know what time. Don't play with me.
Right.
I be able to bring it to the cookout and then with a little bit of flavor in it, goddamn.
Right.
Off the relationship, man. Honestly, man, we're gonna deep dive into this one. We're gonna get out of here. Man, what is privilege to you?
Privilege.
White privilege. We can talk about pretty privilege, man. What is privilege to you?
You know, being allowed to just being allowed to do things that maybe others are not allowed to do. You know, that's how I look at it. Someone that has favor with someone else. You know, that basically just have leeway that others don't have.
Man, you think black people can have privilege?
And maybe in certain situations, it's certain things that black people can do that we're not gonna allow nobody else to do.
No, I mean, man, globally, because because really, I guess, and the next question is to this, like, man, how you feel about bougie black folks? Like Lil Wayne said, man, he don't believe in racism, because a white man saved his life after he shot himself when he was a kid, in a sense. And I say that, do you believe, like, is it classism? Is it more classism that you feel like gives them the privilege?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. That sounds about right. I also believe that. I believe that bougie, most bougie blacks or what they would say. Well, certain terms I don't want to use because I know we on this. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe, that it's a lot of self-hate. I believe it's just as much self-hate is a gang member, two gang members killing each other over colors.
What you call Jesse Owens, man, the Jesse Owens of the world. Is that his name? I seen you.
Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, whoever. I know who you was talking about whenever you said it.
Right.
Man, and I say that, okay, because, man, I grew up watching Fresh Prince. That's another reason why that Will Smith touched me, man. I low-key looked up to him as a little kid. Uncle Phil used to handle jazz wrong. I don't know if you grew up watching.
Yeah, I did.
And I always peeped that. And I just always thought about, man, like, man, I don't, because then again, man, like I didn't been treated the same way going over to some of my friends' house. And even though they're black, and even though his daddy grew up shit in the same project shit, the same struggle, they used to look at me like I was the trouble kid. And I really was at the time, in a sense, but it was more shit, they just booed me. I feel like they used to handle me like when Jazz came to the house.
Right.
And I say that, I guess, in a sense, as far as the privilege, is it really? Oh man, because even people like the next one, they call them sellouts, like Candace Owens or like the Jesse Jacksons. Man, is it? I'm a sick because you ain't, man. Is it coonery? Is it really? Is that is that what it is? And I say that because, is it coming from them, that their stance of privilege, that they can speak on the issues that it is, or is there really something that they speak on and that they're getting to that I feel like maybe because it hits a little too close to home, we don't want to bring up, and we don't really want to acknowledge the facts that they speak.
Well, when you look at the days, of slavery, we had some of our ancestors that were able to buy themselves out of slavery. So we know that, money tends to get an individual thinking that they have freedom. So a lot of these people, that are black, that they say that they're not experiencing certain things. They're probably not experiencing certain things because of the level of finances that they have, and it's causing them to have somewhat of freedom. But I do believe, man, that a lot of them are, like I say, it's self-hate. It's self-hate. They frown upon their own because they wasn't brought up the way certain people were. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like how you said with with Uncle Phil, you know, the way he treated Jazz or whatever, you know, in a sense, they may have not been really thinking about it when they wrote that way, but it has become a second, almost like second nature to treat people as lesser because, you know, you have a higher, you know, financial status than they have. So, you know, people like, you know, Candace, I think a lot of times, you know, they're misguided or whatever because they wasn't really around certain groups of people. You see what I'm saying? They're only looking out in a sense. They're looking at their own people through the oppressor's lens.
It different. I agree. I can agree with that. Yeah, that's interesting. I do agree, and I guess I asked the question only because I don't know. I bring up that Jazz reference, and a lot of people try to act like they don't understand what I was talking about. And nah, man, Jazz was treated differently. Anytime I met Jazz was in the crib, man, Uncle Phil used to sit there with his face turned up, with his arms crossed, looking at Jazz crib, and like, "What's this nigga doing here?" type shit.
But Will was treated different. Will got some of that treatment that Jazz got, but it wasn't as harsh because Will was actually family. You see what I'm saying? But Will was treated different, especially if you watch the new. Have you watched the new show that Will Smith put together, Bel Air?
I haven't because they got some homosexuality and they done turned Lil Ashley gay, and I don't.
Yeah, I seen that. And,
no disrespect to the LGBT community. Look, man, I want everybody to be free. You choose to do whatever it is you want to. There's just something, man, kind of like the new Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
On Toy Story, and I don't want to watch Buzz being gay. So nah, man.
They got that on there like that too?
Yeah, man. I don't even want to go there with this community because I don't want to get canceled. But
hey, but it's
yeah, man. Y'all support yourselves.
Yeah, you know, it's being forced upon people, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, you know, I definitely feel like there's some type of self-hate that's going on, man, when you're dealing with bougie black folks or black folks that are what I would say more financially well off, you know, raised in different neighborhoods, man. And I think that a lot of times those people are just as damaging to the black community as gang members and drug dealers and the misfits of the community. They're just as damaging. Because, you know, they hold us back as well, you know, because they're.
You don't think that is warranted. And I say that in a sense, man. I don't know, because, man, I've always respected the hustlers. I understand where the hustler mentality comes from, in a sense, only because it's, in a sense, man, really, really damn near the origins of pimping and where the origin of that came from. And white folks wasn't finna give us nothing. So we got to find some way to, kind of like you said, even in our community, man, there's billions of dollars to be extracted from the black community. And we're more extorted from it than extracting it from ourselves.
Right.
At the same time, I feel like, I feel what you're saying in a sense about the money and the classism. Like once you get a particular set of money, man, it's a sense of freedom. Like, man, I don't belong to that struggle anymore. And I disagree with that because I feel like shit, those same rich people can't go to certain cities in Texas and that money in white folk, I don't care nothing about how much money you got.
Right.
It's still sundown towns in Texas. You better not be
right. I mean, when you just look at the situation with in Buffalo or whatever, you know, when that guy went into that store, he didn't pick certain type of black folks. He shot up anybody that looked like they were black. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just really, like I say, I don't think that it's warranted. I understand that they want to try to survive, but you know, we have to stop looking. See, we have been taught in this country to look at ourselves only as individuals. See, I celebrate Kwanzaa because Kwanzaa teaches you that you are held accountable for your community as well, not just your own home. Now, don't get me wrong, your first community is your home.
Yeah.
The family. That's your first community. You see what I'm saying? And so I always try to remind myself that whatever I'm trying to do in my community, I have to make sure I'm doing the same within my own home. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, but you are accountable for your people. You see what I'm saying? You have a lot. If you look at a lot of other races of people, they know that their lives should be dedicated to their race. That's why certain things they'll do. Like you got, a lot of these Muslims over in the Middle East, which I don't really like to say the Middle East, but
there's Africa, and people try to play games and separate it.
Right. But where we talking about, right? And so some of those will do those what they call those jihads, and they'll blow stuff up and do stuff for their religious beliefs and their race. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the the Asians. They're very prideful in their race. We're the only ones that will trade on each other against our race because we want the approval and we want the love and the accolades from a whole nother race. We're about the only ones that have a God that don't even look like us. You see what I'm saying? The God looks like our oppressor. You see what I'm saying? So when you're praying to this God and then you're asking for these particular things and none of it's coming to pass, but it seems like your oppressor is getting every single thing that he is asking for, even for the dominance of you, the dominance of you dominating you. He's asking to be able to continue doing that, and it's been granted to him. And then you gotta look at that God that they presented to you look like them. So we don't value ourselves. We rather stand on the opposite side against ourselves. And so I think it needs to be taught that we are accountable to each other. You know what I'm saying? My life does not just affect me. What I do in my life doesn't just affect me. It affects everybody around me. That's why I choose to do what I do, because if I do something positive, when I have my children, I felt like this. I joined this party because one of the particular reasons was that I wanted my children, my daughters, to have a good selection of men to choose from. And in order to make sure that they have that, I have to get out here in this community and try to make some type of difference to where it gets to the parents, and it gets from the parents to the young males, and these young males grow up to be respectable, good moral men that my daughters can choose from. You see what I'm saying? So this is one of the main reasons why I feel like it's important to not just think about yourselves as individuals. You have to think that whatever you do, I feel like wherever I go, I'm able to command the atmosphere. I'm able to change the atmosphere. I'm not just a regular individual, and that's not trying to be arrogant or anything, but I know that whatever you do, whatever any individual does, has an effect on everybody around them. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like the monkey see, monkey do thing. You see one person doing something, other people try it. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad, somebody's going to gravitate to it and try it. You see what I'm saying? So, I think a lot of those bougie individuals, they're only thinking as individuals. They're not thinking about their race as a whole and the advancement of their race as a whole. They're only thinking about their own self-advancement, being able to sit alongside the oppressor and have some type of status.
Why I say it's warranted, because honestly, man, the way you finished that last part, man, the race as a whole ain't thinking about the race as a whole. It's certain individuals, and it might be certain communities that's thinking about the race as a whole and thinking about whatever group that they belong to. But yeah, man, I feel like, man, once you get, and I wouldn't even say once you get to a point, but I just think it's more, man, ain't nobody else worried about those individuals. Candace Owens wouldn't be Candace Owens trying to ride off the back of niggas type shit, if you see what I'm talking about. Man, the same way in what's his name? Obama. Obama wouldn't have been president. He wouldn't have got to the stage of being president had he only relied and only pandered towards black folks in the black community, his race, if you see what I'm saying. He had to go wiggle his way and pander his way through the little ranks in a sense, but that wasn't off the back of because I think he was the what's it called of Chicago before he was the president. And I say that in a sense, man, niggas should, until he got on the main stage and he was almost Jay-Z to the people. Man, they wasn't finna entertain that. And they most definitely wasn't finna help him do anything to get there. Man, I got cousins that grew up and they was nerds, and kind of like I said in the sense, how we was talking about, man, like black people that don't really feel like they're a part of the community, man, because they was nerds, man. My brother's friends used to pick on him and make fun of him, and he was fighting every day because shit. Where I could, man, you gonna put you gonna box. You better not let nobody say nothing. And in the sense, like, yeah, I mean, that was my blood cousin coming home with shit. His face swole because my brother and them friends done beat him up. And my brother, and truly, my brother was never around because whenever we were around, that wasn't for the hat. Like, they wouldn't do it like that. But it was more like, like your friend did this, your friend said this, we got into a fight or whatever it is. And I say that they wasn't finna let him make it. Man, you can't be no basketball player in certain areas that I come from. You can't be no school book nerd. They gonna pick on you. They want you to join a gang or something like that. And there are certain individuals, in a sense, like man, I had a homeboy that said something to me one time, like, man, he went to the neighborhood dope boy, or basically the big OG, because he was from Compton, and he was like, man, I went to the OG, and I told him put me on when I was like 14. But dude was in sports, and he had good grades and shit like that. So he used to ride his bike to football practice, and then ride his bike to the library, and then ride his bike home and shit like that. And shit niggas came and stole his bike one time. And he was like, shit, I went to the OG, man, fuck, man, put me on, man, fuck school, I ain't doing none of that. In the OG, it was one individual in the hood that really shit. He said, man, he gave him shit like 20 bands, and he said, man, still to this day, I still got 10 of it. He said, should I put my mama on and shit? We did what we had to do or whatever it was. But he told you, shit, I had to make him one promise that I would never get in the streets like that. And I'm saying that only because, man, there's certain individuals that I feel like we can pick on, but man, as far as the community as a whole, man, the community ain't putting nobody on. The community ain't rising up to lift. We gotta go find out certain individuals. The nerds gotta go deal with certain individuals. They can't, and at that point, it's almost like they're, I'm not gonna say shamed out the community, but it almost ashamed of the community. I mean, the ones that really couldn't make it, even like the Ben Carsons. Don't nobody like Ben Carson for whatever reason. Shit, because he was picked on all his life. He was a smart kid and didn't nobody like him in a sense. So once he got to that state, man, he's ashamed of it. So I agree with you talking about as far as the self-hate. But shit, man, it's certain type of mindsets and certain niggas I hate too. And it's not the fact that even I still love him. That's still my brother and the man. But goddamn, if you see what I'm saying, type shit like.
Well, when I say self-hate, man, you're not gonna, you're gonna dislike individuals, man. Whether no matter what their skin tone is, you're gonna end up, or what race it is, you're gonna find someone that you dislike. When I say self-hate, I mean in the sense where a person has become racist to their own people. You know what I'm saying? Discriminative, prejudice of their own people. You see what I'm saying? And so. It's like for example, when you look at Obama, when you spoke about Obama earlier, Obama was not raised a black man. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't raised by black people. He never really was connected with his dad's side of the family. You see what I'm saying? And so, I don't really, I didn't really think that he can really, they taught him certain things, but I don't think that he really could relate, because he didn't grow up like the average black person. You see what I'm saying? And then when you start doing research about him, you find out that he was related to some of these politicians that he was calling himself going up against. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of them are really in ties with each other. But, a lot of the stuff that you spoke on, about the behavior of our people that might cause, someone to become like a Ben Carson or someone like that or whatever.
Jackson or something.
Or yeah. It's because you gotta understand, we don't control our own institutions. We're not taught about ourselves. We're not taught to take pride in ourselves. We're not even taught our own history. You see what I'm saying? Most of the history that I learned about black folks that was positive wasn't even taught in schools. You see what I'm saying? And so even the way our morals and the traditions that we had as a people, we gotta remember, our last names, our tribes, everything was stripped of us, even the morals that we had, the traditions that we had. When we talk about the things that we're doing, we got to remember who taught us these things. We're up under American culture. You see what I'm saying? The gangs and everything that we have, we learned that from our oppressors. You see what I'm saying? It's a movie called New York, Gangs of New York. You see what I'm saying? Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Check that movie out when you get an opportunity. And matter of fact, when you look at the Game of Thrones, you know, you have recommended. I watched Game of Thrones some years back, and I went on and did it, man. I watched all of it, and you know, those people were contending against each other, man, and fighting against each other. We learned a lot of that. We didn't have our African culture to go by. We were stripped of it. So what you see us doing, we learned from them. You see what I'm saying? So how is it that we can hate our own that's doing the same thing that other people are doing, but we trying to love everybody else? You see what I'm saying? If anything, you got to point the finger at everybody. Then you know, especially those who basically run the country, who created the system and run the system. You see what I'm saying? The movies that they allow to be put out, the music that they allow to be put out. You know, a lot of these record labels are owned by individuals that want to see our demise. You see what I'm saying? Do you think that if we was doing songs talking about killing another race, that they would allow those songs to come out? When they sit there and allow us to do songs about destroying ourselves, and the way I was taught was that whatever you put in your ears, your eye gates, and your mouth is going to come out some type of way. You see what I'm saying? If I keep watching a certain thing, eventually I'm going to start displaying what I've been watching. I'm going to become what I've been watching. If I start listening to a certain thing, eventually I'm going to speak what I've been listening to. You see what I'm saying? And you know, and it goes on, because whatever you putting into yourself is going to come out. And a lot of times we're being programmed. This is like with the television. When I was coming, it was called television program, TV programs. You see what I'm saying? It's telling you exactly. It's telling you your vision, and it's programming you. It's telling you what it's doing to you. You see what I'm saying? So when I see my people, I act out like that. I don't agree with it, but I can't really just I don't allow myself to really just totally just count them out and disown them, because like some of these bougie black folks do, because I know that they're being programmed to be like that.
Somebody said that about that Dr. Bobby E. Wright called Black Menticide. Man, I Googled that word menticide, and it came up. It said the ultimate threat to the black race. I'm gonna have to follow you, McPhil Anthony, just because you got some knowledge on you. I might need to get you on the show one day.
Yeah.
But nah, truly, I get, man, that maybe that's what it is. Jesse J, I ain't gonna, man. I used to watch his interviews, and it was some shit, because it sounds good. The way he sits there and tries to spit that shit, it sounds real good. I ain't never agreed with it though. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd probably slap the shit out of that dude if I said that. Real, nah, man. I ain't even let you speak on it like that.
Right.
But yeah, man, maybe that's what it is, man. Maybe they were just programmed to think, because even like you said, man, because you related to the gangs, and I see it the same way. And even Kendrick Lamar said in the song, man, like, how am I gonna get mad about Trayvon Martin or about these police killing black folks? And he said, man, gang banging made me kill a nigga blacker than me, hypocrite.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe just because I always thought about it like that. And I be telling, man, people look at me like I got menticide or whatever it is, because I tell them that. Man, in my projects, if the police pull up right now and kill one person, everybody gonna want justice, and we gonna be out in the street tearing shit up to tomorrow, sitting there trying to get that police arrested.
Right.
Man, September, man, I watched my nigga die right in front of me, and everybody outside knows who did it. Police came up asking questions, don't nobody know nothing. If you see what I'm saying, type man, dude, they killed a 30-some-year-old woman and a 19-year-old little boy. Double homicide in my projects type shit. I'm telling you shit. Man, everybody in the hood know who did it. It was the bitch boyfriend that I don't know what he did. Was argue with the I guess my homeboy was arguing with the girlfriend about something. The boyfriend came and killed both of them.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You know, as a Panther, I'm against any predator, no matter what skin tone they is. Anybody that's a predator towards the black community
Yeah, I got a
I'm
problem.
against them. I got a problem with them. You know what I'm saying? And, I have a problem with gangs as well, unless they are practicing the gangs according to what they were meant to be practiced. Because when you look at the Bloods was supposed to be a revolutionary group. You see what I'm saying? The Crips was supposed to be a revolutionary group.
I don't know about the Crips. The Bloods was started like that. The Crips was second. And I say because I know rolling 60s up to especially out of Fort Worth and shit like that. But if you look back on it, Tookie Williams, they was going to terrorize the Blood. Matter of fact, the Crips was first. The Blood,
the Crips was first, but before it steered off, because when the crack epidemic came in, that's when a lot of it changed. But before,
it was terrorizing people in the community.
Yeah, but they originally came together. The whole purpose for them to come together in the beginning was, like how I said, community revolution in progress. They were meant to keep people from coming in the community, terrorizing them, but eventually they became the terrorizers. You see what I'm saying? Because it started being about money, about status, who's hustling on what block. Some of those individuals began to even do those particular drugs that they were selling. And then we got to understand too, we have always had the law enforcement, the COINTELPRO coming in, dressing up. When I was coming up, when you wanted to, when you had police, that it was rumors of police dressing up as like Bloods or Crips and going and shooting up certain areas and making it like it was the Bloods that shot up at the Crips, but it was really the police that did it. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa. They would dress up like Crips and go do that to the Bloods. You see what I'm saying?
The same way they were doing after George Floyd in them riots, and they was going to set shit on fire, and they're saying it was the black folks.
Yeah, they did that with Mike Brown.
Niggas was setting police cars on fire, and it was police setting their own cars on
fire. Exactly. They have always done those kind of things. It has always been where the police have always killed black folks, and black folks have mysteriously came up dead in the community, and we thinking it's each other doing it, but they have been doing it and just laying us out somewhere dead. And so we can't always assume that it's just us killing each other, because sometimes it's them too. They dressing up and doing the stuff that they're doing, because we got to remember, we have white supremacists that have infiltrated the police force, the judicial system. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are even lawyers. You know what I'm saying? I've even seen where they have legalized see, a lot of people don't know that the KKK have even become a political, what is called a certified political party. So right, and so they'll label their party a certain type of name, but when you research them, you'll find out that they're Nazis, they're KKKs. You see what I'm saying? And so some of these people are buying up real estate in communities and everything. You see what I'm saying? So they're very strategic at what they do. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times they do things to have us beefing with each other. Just like in the times of the Panthers, they would have certain Panther leaders write faking like they were writing letters to another group of black groups, and we're lying and saying and making threats through these letters and all these different things, stirring up stuff, getting people to kill each other. You see what I'm saying? We even had individuals that were dressed up as Panthers, you know what I'm saying, back in the 60s, and they would say, oh, that brother right there is an agent. But the one that said that brother's an agent was really the agent himself. And he done had this individual over here get killed. And then not only did they kill a person that was really active and doing something positive for the community, the individual that killed them, now he's going down. So they lost the person that was very detrimental to the community, very beneficial, to that community. And then the person that killed them, they're losing their life by spending the rest of their lives in prison. And it was all because an undercover individual comes in and pretends like they're a Panther and encourage crimes to be done, get people to incriminate themselves. So we've always seen that, and I believe that was something that was done within the Crip organizations, you know what I'm saying, and within the Panther, not the Panther, the Blood organizations. And when I talk to Bloods and Crips, I tell them all the time, you guys should not be beefing with each other, because when you hear a Crip, call out, someone, he's saying, "What's up, cuz?" He's calling you family. When you hear a blood say, "What's up, blood?" He's saying, "What's up, family?" When you call somebody blood, that's like saying that's your family. When you hear a GD or a BD come together and they say, "What up, folks?" They calling you family. You see what I'm saying? We all calling each other family. You see what I'm saying? So why we beefing? Why we beefing over colors? We not no different. If these gangs are not no different from a white man going and killing a black man because he's black, his skin is black, and then you a Crip, you going to kill this individual because they wearing red. That's no different. We have become them. Their ways are falling off on us. And like I said, we never really had our own culture presented to us. We had what they displayed before us. You see what I'm saying? So we are becoming our oppressors. We're oppressing ourselves at times.
Yeah, this PTSD is I don't know, it's fucking us up as a community, that's for sure.
Definitely, definitely. You know,
I like the fact though, and look, man, I'm telling you, this was an amazing conversation. I've been told you, man, I need to get you on here, man, so we can talk about it. I'm telling you, I can't wait to clip some of this up. In a sense, you're gonna be on TikTok. You're gonna be some. This gonna get some. And I say that in a sense only because, man, like, man, even with the Panthers, man, it taught me in a sense, man, to think more critically. Like these books that I got back here, in a sense, honestly, I just ordered these. These ain't the original ones I read. I had to order these. Actually, I'm gonna shout the dude out. I believe he might have been a Panther. He might be in the Huey P. Newton gun. I don't even know how we became friends, but it was in that little group. But I just feel, man, we got to start thinking a little bit more critically. We got to start analyzing the things that surround us, and the things that are going on. Like even in the 10-point platform, man, politically, culturally, and economically. And we most definitely got to start looking at these things. Even, man, I don't even care if we start at the individual level, but it then needs to expand out, man, to the family and then to the community. And I feel like as long as we start doing, man, a critical analysis on the things that's going on around us and our situations, man, I feel like that's the only thing we can do. I do interviews like this, and I started the Murphy Show really just so I can talk my shit to begin with. But then I switched it up in a sense, really watching Kevin Samuels. That's why I get on here in the suits now. Because, man, we got to control the not even just black media, but we got to control the black narrative.
Yeah, we gotta tell our own stories.
Yeah, man. This is almost the same thing as the white folks making the COINTELPRO or the Black Panther. What's it called? You can go watch on YouTube. You type in Black Panther. What's it? The documentary right now. It'd be on the History Channel. I watched it on the History Channel when I was a kid. Yeah, man, they ain't really have too many black authors or black directors that was really pressing that. They just went to go gather some information and threw some shit together and said this is what the Black Panther Party is. So yeah.
Speaking of which, I got some books. You know what I'm saying? I got some recommendation on books that people can read if you would like for me to, present them to people. You
know? Go tell them, man, what you want them to speak, what you want them to intellectually soak in, man.
Well, the books that I feel like are very impactful or whatever is the first one is Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton. That's a good book. The next one is Miseducation of the Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah, I read that one.
Then you have Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Yeah, that's my shit. That was my shit. I ain't got that.
Yeah. Then you have the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Chris Wilson.
Yeah.
And then Blueprint for Black Power by Amos Wilson. And then the one of the best ones I really like is Stolen Legacy by George G. M. James. That's a good book. And so a lot of people don't have time to read books. Sometimes, it's good. I tell people, if you can get it in audio, get it. You know what I'm saying? If you can
And
watch
you
it,
go get most every book you just named on the in an audio book on YouTube.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
reading it, but you can go get the book for sure.
Matter of fact, I want to tell people to go to YouTube page, YouTube channel, Examine Info. Examine Info is a good channel to go to. That brother, he takes his own time to read books and record himself reading these books. So if you're looking for some books, these books in audio version, he has read these books. And some of them, some of these books he's done set for hours and read. Took the time to read, and that way that we can have some type of audio book to listen to. So I would encourage people to go to his channel. That again, that's Examine Info, and some of those books that I mentioned, he's reading.
This channel is dedicated to keeping alive the beautiful treasury of books written by authors of primarily African descent. I swear, I think it's funny. I've been thinking about reading some of these books like that. I just don't be having the time. But on God, I've been thinking about doing some audio.
Man, hey, you can still do it, man. We need a lot more brothers doing what he's doing. So, I really appreciate him, because there's been times I've been on the way to work or whatever, and I've been listening to him. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't get the chance to read these books, from home, I was able to listen to them in my car, on the way to work, on my bus, on the bus while I'm on the way to work, or whatever it is, whatever I was doing to get where I needed to go. I had the ability, because of this brother, to listen to those audio books, and I appreciate him. So I encourage people to go to his channel, man, and see if you can find a book that you might like.
Yeah. But man, I'm telling y'all, man, this was an amazing conversation. I've been meaning to sit him down, man, so we can do this. One of the first times, man, I told him I wanted to get him on camera so we could talk about these things, man. He told me he ain't want to. I don't know what your problem was, but speaking on the issues. And I don't know, even when I mentioned it, I wasn't even really getting on camera, man, just speaking on things in general myself. It took a couple years for me to even do it, but man, I'm just glad that I finally started, and I'm glad that we finally got the chance to sit down. I'll tell you, man, this is gonna go into history. I promise this.
I think I told you, man, I'm not really big on being on camera and doing videos. I do I do take pictures of the things that we do. I've been starting to be big on that now, because going in the community, I've been hearing like individuals say, well, we didn't even know you guys were still in existence. We didn't know y'all was still out here doing things. And it's because the media don't make known what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We don't get the support of the media as new Black Panthers. Now the 60s Panthers did, because they were running around with white folks a lot of times, and they were getting the support of white folks. But we're more on the sense that we want to see us build our own nation. And so we have a lot of individuals that don't want to see Black men and Black women have their own. So they're not going to support us. They're not going to let the community know that we are here doing things.
Man, I'm going to tell you, if they're willing to give BLM organization, man, what if she just fumble, man, 90-something million? Man, they better, man, tell them the cash app that they can cash app real quick.
Yeah. They don't try to help the ones, man, that's really gonna make a difference, man. They don't try to support the ones that's really gonna make a difference. You got a lot of people that are afraid to even be seen with us in public, man, because they feel like the establishment, the white establishment, will blackball them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're dealing with us. So a lot of things that we do, man. I tell people all the time. They say, well, why come we don't have a Panther Party in our organization? I mean, in our community, the Panther is the people. You see what I'm saying? The Panther Party consists of the people within that community. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't come out of thin air. It doesn't come from people out of town just deciding to come over here and do some work. It doesn't come from that. It comes from the people in that particular community deciding they want to join and make a difference in their community. And whatever skills and talents that they bring and dedicate to that party is what's going to help the party be more sufficient for the community. You see what I'm saying? So we need everybody from all walks of life to come in and participate, because we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need military men. You know, we need everything on down to
Man,
babysitters
we
and
need
all that.
accountants. We need accountants. We need
Yeah,
lawyers.
accountants, all that.
We need
Plumbers.
one of one of the last comments I got on my last video, one of my other high level conversations, I got that from that 19 keys. That you be sounding like when you hit that, you know what I'm saying? He be saying that. But yeah, somebody said, man, the way that these organizations, gas companies and everything like that, man, exploit us. The way they come and buy our homes and stuff like that for cheap, and man, even gentrification, man, I feel like that's another form of white supremacy and another form of power. Man, if they could build it up, we should be able to build it up too.
Yeah.
It's not well, it's not a poor community because of the people that live in it. It's a poor community because of how we treat it.
Right.
It's a poor community because of how we take care of it, in a sense. And shit, they just come and shit, man, they put a new paint job on it and shit, put some white people in it. And they say it's more, and nah, man, it's because we're not building ourselves up, in a sense, economically. I mean, I don't know. I could talk about playing the crackheads on the steps all day, but yeah, man, and like you said, man, it's the people that make the difference, man. It ain't and I feel like that's where it starts. And that's why one of the questions was, man, what can they do as individuals? Because I feel like it's a lot of people that be sitting back thinking like, man, they don't know what to do and they don't know where to start. Man, I got homeboys that don't do nothing but sit up and man, write governors and whatever it is, emails and everything, and they're in correspondence, in a sense, with governors and mayors and city councilmen just through an email, just because they're plugged in with that, because they ended up emailing the assistant. Okay, so if I call this office enough and the assistant keeps answering, telling me the city council don't want to mail, all right, man, look, well, let me sit here and chop it up with you. You go tell them whatever I say, in a sense. You don't have to tell them I called them up. Just go ahead and go in there and talk to them about it, in a sense.
Man, you got Panthers, man. We go to city halls, man, in uniform and everything. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell people all the time, I won't talk to no police privately, but I'll talk to the police publicly, where all the community can see what we're talking about. And I'll ask them questions like, why are they doing what they're doing? What are their goals? Why are they in our community? You know, all those different things. I think that's the way that we're supposed to be in our community. We have to get involved. We have to have our voice be heard. You see what I'm saying? Emails is good, but sometimes they need to see your face. Sometimes they need to feel your presence and the intent behind what you're saying. Because a lot of times when you texting or emailing, you can't, the individual can't really determine the emotion behind what you're saying. And so sometimes we come up in there with these uniforms on, you know what I'm saying? And they feel they gotta feel what we're talking about. You know, they got to feel what we feel about this community, about how we're being treated. You see what I'm saying? And so that's just what it got to be, man. You know, we need more brothers and sisters to get out here, man. You know, whether you're a Panther or not. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a Panther. You could volunteer. You could start a nonprofit. You could do something that's going to impact your community. We can't keep complaining about our communities and waiting for somebody to change them. It's up to us to get up and do something about it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, man, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate you taking out the time.
No problem, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
This is we gonna have to do it again one of these days, man. We might have to do it yearly. Man, the next problem that arises, the next mass shooting, I know it's gonna happen. Shit, maybe around election time when Trump gets back in the office, we can sit here and talk about why I'm finna vote for Trump. Yeah, man, whatever it is, we're going to have to, man, I'm telling you, I'm just glad I finally got the chance to sit down and chop it up finally on camera so we can, this is all I've been needing. This is the only one I get, man. I appreciate it, for real.
Well, man, you know, I'm going to be inviting you to some future things too, man. You know, we have been in talks locally about starting some, you know, some type of podcast or something like that locally. You know, to really showcase and let the individuals in our community and even those abroad know that we out here, man. We out here, we doing the work. You know, you guys are not alone, and we can use your help. We can use your support. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to get you on that panel, you know, to, you know, speak your piece too. You see what I'm saying? You know, you're pretty good at what you do, man. I appreciate you bringing me out. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to come on your show, man.
No problem, man. Family, we gonna wrap it up, man. That's about it. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for listening. Best believe I'm gonna have some promo coming out. Actually, I want this video up. It's Juneteenth right now. Happy Juneteenth, brother.
Happy Juneteenth, man.
It's gonna be up probably by about 10 o'clock tonight if I can get some things done with it. Yeah, man, family, I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for watching. Peace and blessings to you. Appreciate you. I love you, Shaka.
I love you too, brother. Black Power.